Welcome to the Extreme season on Film 4, showcasing films from around the world which for the past 20 years have offered a vibrant alternative to the boring daily diet of mainstream multiplex fodder. In this season you'll find films from Japan, Austria, Greece, Scandinavia, America and the UK. Films which explore strange ideas in radical new forms. Films which push at the boundaries of horror, comedy, satire and surrealism, made by directors with a unique, distinctive style following no rules but their own. Long-time viewers of Film 4 will remember the Extreme brand from back in the 90s, when stringent film censorship was still very much an issue here in the UK, and our remit was to bring you the most controversial movies in their most complete form. It was here that films like Taxi Some Clo and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre were first broadcast uncut, and where UK TV audiences got to see Pasolini's Salo for the very first time. We flew the flag for films as diverse as Caligula and Crash, challenged BBFC cuts with our groundbreaking online content, and went out to bat for long band gems like Abel Ferrara's The Driller Killer. And of course, it was the Film 4 Extreme team who finally got Sam Raimi's notorious splatter comedy The Evil Dead through the censors intact in all its limb-lopping, gut-chomping glory. Since a turn-of-the-century regime change at the BBFC, these films and many others like them have become widely available uncut. Today, our censors believe that in most cases, adults should be allowed to choose for themselves what they watch, changing their primary focus from censorship to classification. And of course, since the early days of Extreme, the rise of online on-demand content has forced viewers to take more personal responsibility for what they allow onto their screens. Yet censorship still remains in the form of exhibition and distribution, with films which exist outside of the mainstream being increasingly marginalised and silenced by the rise of multiplexes, with more and more screens showing fewer and fewer films. In this marketplace, foreign language films, experimental films, even homegrown British films have found it harder and harder to find a foothold. And it's not just cinemas where this is the case. On television screens, subtitled movies, subversive movies, movies which celebrate the diversity of international cinema have had to struggle to find a place alongside endless reruns of populist Hollywood blockbusters. So now Film 4 is reviving the Extreme brand to remind you just what a wide, wild and wonderful world of movies is out there for anyone willing to venture beyond the mainstream. This is where you'll find films that don't sit nicely with a bucket of popcorn. Films made by directors who don't give a damn about audience focus groups and have never heard of negative test preview screenings. Films made by people who, like Film 4, have embraced cinema in all its many forms. And what exactly have we got in store for you in this all-new Extreme season? Well, we start with a film which serves as a perfect primer for Extreme cinema in general, Michael Haneke's Benny's Video, a film about what we watch, why we watch it, and what it might be doing to us. Beyond that, we have 4 hours of East Asian excess with Sion Sono's full frontal Fantasia Love Exposure, after which we look at extraordinary work from 3 familiar names. The Skin-Crawling Bug by William Friedkin, The Angry Apocalyptic Naked from Mike Leigh, and the middle finger to machismo that is David Fincher's Fight Club, possibly the biggest budget movie we've ever shown on an Extreme season. Then we catch up with Austrian director Ulrich Seidel for his grim vision of contemporary Europe import-export, and go beyond the Garden Wall in Greece for Yorgos Lanthimos' extraordinary Dogtooth. And we finish with one of the most controversial movies in years from a director who is no stranger to Extreme cinema, that melancholy Dane Lars von Trier, and the uncut version of his art house horror film Antichrist. You may love some of these movies, you may hate some of them, but none of them will leave you unmoved. Welcome to Extreme.